Vanessa Feltz here, my final tribute to the jungle. What do I have to say about this series? Great or disappointing? What do you think? Leave your comments, leave your remarks, push the subscribe button and go to my YouTube channel. I thought this was a brilliant series. I loved the way the campmates got on so well. So instead of it being about some squabble or disagreement or people shouting or swearing or being miserable or gossiping about each other or being two-faced and having to say, oh, wasn't it terrible when so-and-so said so-and-so or so-and-so didn't say so-and-so or so-and-so was whispering about so-and-so in the dunny. I think we've all had enough conflict in real life. I mean, I think real life is so damn difficult at the moment. It was absolutely blissful to see people getting on brilliantly, people from all different backgrounds, of all different ages, just gelling, just chatting, being nice, being kind. I don't think they were boring at all. I thought they were good fun, and I thought that people really did deliver on the assignment, which is tell your best stories. Don't just sit there in the jungle hiding your best stories. If you're going to be there, you're going to be exposing your personality, exposing your background, exposing your vulnerability. Then for God's sake, follow through by being candid and honest and relatable and saying the sorts of things about your life that people really want to hear. And I thought this year's celebrities brilliantly delivered on the assignment. They almost deserve a bonus because we've very often in the past watched celebrities who do have fascinating stories to tell and won't say a bloody word about any of them. So this lot were fantastic. Richard Coles, Reverend Richard Coles, was terrific talking about buying a speedboat in Ibiza, and he doesn't even know what happened to it. He can't remember why he bought it, where he bought it, how he bought it, but somehow it disappeared. Absolutely magnificent. I thought that Coleen Rooney more than delivered. However much she was paid, so what? It really doesn't matter. It doesn't come out of my pocket. It's not public money. It's ITV's money, and it was a great investment. She told us all about Wayne. The story I loved the best, the one I adored, was Wayne Rooney going to a really, really posh dinner at the Beckhams, Shea Beckham at Buckingham Palace, and dabbling his fingers in a bowl of cold soup, probably vichyssoise, that's my view, I think it was vichyssoise, cold soup, cold leek soup, thinking it was the finger bowl. Isn't that the most divine story you've ever heard? I mean, I absolutely adored it. Haven't we all done something a bit like that? I remember my dad's Christmas party for his business, going to the local Chinese restaurant and one of my father's employees picking up the finger bowl and vigorously drinking it, just downing it in one and saying, oh, delicious tea this. And my father's manners were so impeccable that he picked up his, toasted everyone and drank the finger bowl too. And then we all had to do it. And that's the only polite thing to do. I wonder whether all those people sitting next to Wayne Rooney just stuck their fingers in the vichyssoise, the leek soup, and said, terrific finger bowl this. I wonder whether they did that. They should have done if they were properly brought up. Anyway, I thought the celebrities were wonderful. I thought Danny Jones was terrific, funny, engaging, talking very honestly and earnestly about his anxiety, about the fact that he doesn't see his dad, about his love for his mum, love for his wife, how he fell in love with her, how he feels about his bandmates, how he feels about music, Bruce Springsteen. It was great. I really took to Oti Mabuse even more vigorously than I already do. She had an incredibly hard life, a very, very difficult background in South Africa, how she overcame it, the encouragement of her mum, how she feels about her baby, what she's been through with all of that, of having a premature child. I mean, I thought she was just engaging and vital and inspirational and just couldn't take my eyes off her. I also thought Melvin Addoom did a bloody good job, always slapping out that water. I think the best thing he really did in there was call Dean Houdini, because you seek him here, you seek him there. You could never find Dean anywhere, especially when there was work to be done. I thought Melvin really did himself a good service in going into the jungle. People who haven't heard him on the radio, I think now realise he's a thoroughly good sort and might seek him out. I think he should get more work as a result. And I thought he was a pleasure to have around. Barry McGuigan, I know. I remember him of old. He's a fabulous singer. What a great voice that guy has. Where's his Christmas album for next year? That I would like to see. Here, I would even spend my own money buying it. There are lots of unlikely people, Alexander Armstrong, Bradley Walsh, who've had successful Christmas albums. Barry McGuigan should definitely be the next one. Plus, what a nice guy, giving Danny Jones all the love and fatherliness and avuncular support that he could immediately see was missing from his life, and doing it so delicately and sensitively, kindly and nicely, just in a really great way, not bossing him around or controlling him, just supporting him quietly and showing him that kind of manly affection that he obviously craves. So I thought Barry McGuigan was a complete belter. Jane Moore, uncomplaining, unflinching, solid, analytical, just as she is in real life. I know her, I like her, I admire her. She did a bang up job in there. She was terrific. Talisa, I don't quite know what's happened to her since. I hope her mental health is all right, not in disarray. She should be proud of herself. She should be very proud of herself. She did incredibly well in there. She really did. She did great. And as for Maura Higgins, Maura Higgins is hilarious. And I reckon she might be, alongside Coleen Rooney, the standout star of this year's I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I would expect to see much, much more of Maura and much, much more of Coleen on telly. And not only would I expect to see them, I like to see them. I'd enjoy seeing them. Maura's hilarious. Coleen is great. And if they co-host a show with Danny Jones, I'm in. And as for GK Barry, Grace, she's tremendous. I thought that her comments were just perfect. They were a little wry. They were a little ironic. They were a little satirical. They were a little sardonic. They stopped the whole thing being too schmaltzy and cutesy and sentimental and sort of therapy speakish, because she just kept telling it like it was, but in a very amusing, kind of eye-rolling, excellent kind of a way. I had not really heard of her before, though I knew that she had been booked on Loose Women, but I've heard of her now, and I really, really like and admire her. I think she is excellent company, highly diverting, very, very, very insightful in a really amusing and comical way. I thought she did a brilliant job in there. And considering lots of people like me weren't really familiar with her when she went in, didn't she do well to survive so long in the jungle? And Alan Halsall from Corrie, he was just a likable bloke. I think people could really identify with him. He was like Mr. Everyman, Mr. Everyman on the Clapham omnibus. Somebody knows, we all know somebody just like him. We all like somebody just like him. He was just quietly amusing. He was quietly supportive. He's very much unshowy. It's interesting that he's the actor. He's the performer. He's the showbiz through and through. Mr. Showbiz who grew up on the cobbles of Weatherfield, and yet somehow rather didn't seem to be performing at all. Just seemed to be incredibly authentic, understated, thoroughly decent, nice guy that loves and misses his daughter Sienna. So I took to him hugely. I think he did absolutely brilliantly. And Dean, well, Dean was very compulsive viewing. I mean, you couldn't take your eyes off Dean, and even if you wanted to, he wouldn't let you. Do I think he did himself many favours going into the jungle? I don't know. Now the dust has settled, at least people who didn't know his name, Dean McCulloch, know it now. And I think lots of people will have warmed to his flamboyance and his histrionics and his dancing and his singing and his wearing a gold lame frock and all of that kind of thing. And I think with the mists of time, the fact that he said, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, not once but twice, which really does make television history, will be forgotten and forgiven, and he will go on to greater things. I've been asked to do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here several times, including extremely recently. I won't tell you how recently, but I think the phone call's still in my phone if you want to check it. So I've been asked many times, and I've been to many meetings in person to discuss it. The reason I always say no is I would be so unbelievably, appallingly, gut-churningly terrible at everything. I really am an absolute coward. I wouldn't be able to jump out the bloody plane. I wouldn't be good at paddling a canoe. I wouldn't be good at, and I'd be just like Barry McGuigan because I'm 62. I wouldn't be able to see the flickering lock for the key, and then there'd be a rat crawling over my face and a snake curling around my neck, and there'd be a cockroach burying its way into my cleavage, and I wouldn't be able to unlock the thing, and I'd probably be crying, screaming, calling for my mother, and I'm definitely a moaner. I'd probably stop moaning. I wouldn't like sitting on a log. I wouldn't like a leech, burrowing into my buttock. I'd be cold. I'd be hot. I'd be hungry. I'd be moaning. I'd be miserable. I just think I'd be absolutely terrible. And that is why every time they ask me to do it, I say I couldn't. I would really be appalling. And I think people would vote for me to do every single task. And I'd make a complete pig's ass of it. Probably have to eat a pig's ass as well, which isn't even kosher. And also then, that my campmates would hate me. The public would hate me. What the hell do I need to go in there and be half strangled by a snake and also hated? What the hell do I need that for? So I always say no. And every time I say no, they offer me more money, but I really mean it. So that's why I haven't gone in. I just think I would be so rubbish at everything. And I also think that the viewers at home would be absolutely right to say, well, what the hell did Vanessa expect? She's an absolute pathetic imbecile at all of this. She hasn't stopped moaning. She can't do anything. And she knew that that was what the show was like. So she should bloody well have stayed at home on the sofa. And they'd be right. This has been my I'm a Celebrity Roundup. Do push the subscribe button and go to my YouTube channel and do leave your comments. And if you disagree with me, tell me. I can take it.